Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue tints on my hundreds. Life been going how I want it. Life been lit just how I want it. Yeah. Now she talking like she want me. Yeah, ayy, wave.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Cold Hard Football Facts Show for August 15th, 2022. Hope everyone's doing well and hope everyone is ready to talk some NFL football. Got a great show today, talking Zach Wilson's injury, Carolina Panthers quarterback battle, and so much more. So make sure you log on, watch, settle in, grab a cup of coffee, whatever you're doing at work, put your headphones in, and let's get down to it, guys. Hope everyone's doing well on TikTok and YouTube. Again, this is the more relaxed show of the day. We do the 10 a.m., the betting show. We were fired up today. Big time stuff after going 5-0 yesterday. Hopefully we can do that as football season approaches. NFL show, a little more laid back, a little more chill until we get into it. Then we get the betting talk, and then we get up and the energy rises. How we doing, guys, over on TikTok? How we doing on YouTube? What a day to have a day, people. We need Tanner on ESPN. Damn right we do. Damn right. Nerfy Live. We'll be live for that Nerfy at 3 o'clock today. Tommy, over on NFL preseasons everywhere will win. The overs have been hitting. That's been really surprising to me because you think at this point in the season, the offenses are behind the defenses, but the offenses have been crushing. The rookie quarterbacks have been playing pretty well, and it's been fun to watch, honestly. These young quarterbacks, this game's in really good shape. I know the guys like Brady and Manning left obviously a while ago, but those quarterbacks that have been there, done that, they're kind of disappearing, right? They're on the way out, but the up and up of this game, the young quarterbacks, Burrow, Mahomes, obviously Josh Allen, right? This game is in such great shape. It's kind of like baseball right now. We got that next generation of players coming up, and it's just so fun to watch. Hey, Tanner, I got BDE. Love it. Mikey, love it. What's up, brother? Freeline Skate School. How we doing? Mr. Goat yesterday. Thanks for the money. No problem. Take my words. Over on preseason. John, I know the overs have been hitting like crazy. It's insane. Again, guys, if you want to watch on YouTube, we got the fancy backdrop, the fancy graphics. You want to watch and see what the production team works so hard on every day, make sure you head over to the Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube. The link in my bio, there's two. There's the Tanner Kern YouTube and Cold Hard. So click the Cold Hard, and we are live there. We got some comments rolling in here. Tanner needs to be on NFL Network. I love it from the plug. I appreciate that. All these comments, guys, I absolutely love. They mean so much to me. We work hard here. I work hard doing all this stuff for you guys, so I appreciate you saying all that. This guy's a stud from the plug. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chris Albert coming here. I think defense will never be able to stop these new offenses, and I think they will. It's just going to take time. We saw it last year. I know Lamar Jackson was hurt, but he had a down year, right? I think this whole defensive coordinator style, they're going to have to adjust to these dual threat quarterbacks. We look how well Trey Lance played, and we're going to talk about him today. Trey Lance was, he was 4-5, he had 92 yards, right? But he played really well, in that dual threat ability that he has combined with all these freak athletes that the 49ers have. That's going to be a problem. So teams are going to try to imitate this. I don't think the standard is going to be the Lamar Jackson style quarterback. I think it's going to be similar to more like a Trey Lance, a guy that wants to sit in the pocket and throw the ball, but can also run. A Pat Mahomes, a guy that can run, but wants to sit in the pocket. Same thing with Josh Allen too. He sits in the pocket all day, right? But he's still going to run the ball 120 times this year. So just keep that in mind, guys. I think that's the new style quarterback that we're starting to see in college, because college is a very dynamic, elusive game. You want to spread the field, you want to run the ball. And, it's not a pocket passer, power eye kind of game anymore, right? So we're going to see that in the NFL over the next 10 years. I think the NFL is going to make a massive swing with how offenses play, and then now how defenses have to handle them, right? Because defenses got to adjust to what the offenses are doing. Another comment here. It's going to be a high-scoring year in the NFL. I agree with that, the plug. A lot of overs in the NFL this year. If overs in the preseason are any indication of what we're going to get, and again, it's preseason. We've had 1 week of preseason football, guys. So we can't, I can't stand all these, cappers on TikTok saying, no, we're going to be killing it this season. Nobody knows what's going to happen, guys. It's preseason NFL, right? A lot can happen. But the fact that overs are hitting is very surprising, because my automatic lean when I'm looking at preseason, or even those like spin-off leagues like the Alliance and blah, 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 that kind of stuff, the XFL, you're always going to lean under early because defenses are ahead of offenses. It's like in baseball, pitchers are always ahead of hitters. That's just the way it works, right? So, gotta ride with that and see what happens. But again, as we get in the season, we can look at these trends and really focus on betting tactics, and also do that with coldhardfootballfacts.com, the #1 place, guys, to win bets with our stats this year. Sign up for a free trial day. We're getting our website revamped and stuff, so we're very excited about that for football season. But link is in the bio. Start your Cold Hard Football Facts free trial. We're the original people that came up with the Tom Brady is better than Peyton narrative. We also predicted the Bengals going to the Super Bowl last year. We have 22 proprietary stats unique to us that help you guys win bets. We're going to use those within this show, and just in general content on the Cold Hard site. So how we doing, guys? Let's win some money. Let's cash some tickets. Let's talk some NFL news. Okay, let's see. We got some comments rolling in here. Hey Tanner, I got BD. I saw that. I won a couple hundred on those Giants and Ravens games. There you go, Chef Doc. Love it. Thoughts on Jimmy G? I think Jimmy G could end up with the Jets now. Depending on what happens with Zach Wilson's knee. Zach Wilson isn't out of the woods yet, this whole 2 to 4 weeks off the field thing. I think this could be a lot worse than it actually is. We're going to break that down in a minute. They're going to raise the overs. They've been at 29 to 36. I agree with that. He quit his other channel. I still got his back, though. What are you talking about, LJ? Who quit? Who quit the other channel? I got multiple channels. What do you mean? LJ, I'm a wheeler and dealer. I'm wheeler and deal. I go the highest bidder. In this era of free agency, Tanner Kern goes to the highest bidder. Come on now. I gotta make money. I didn't quit anything. I think overs in preseason will carry over in the season early on. I agree with that too. Again, defenses are going to start to figure it out. And keep in mind too, one more thing. We're seeing these rookie players, right? We're seeing rookie defenders. We're seeing rookie offensive guys, right? We're not seeing the cream of the crop, okay? Any given Sunday in the NFL, anyone can beat that. Agree, guys. It's just like in baseball. Anyone can win on any given day. In the NFL, anyone can win on any given day. It's sports. These guys are professional athletes. They're the elite of the elite. Just happens like a really good team that goes to the Super Bowl has a few more elite guys than a team that doesn't. But in the NFL, anyone can win on any given day. I go back to that Jacksonville Colts game, at the end of the year last year. I went to that in Jacksonville, and the Jaguars knocked off the Colts, and Jonathan Taylor, that whole offense couldn't run the ball at all to save their life. Jacksonville played great, but overall throughout that season, were the Jaguars that kind of team? Hell no, they weren't. Too many season-ending injuries in preseason. Guys aren't trying to want to stay healthy. I think you got to get your guys out there in the preseason, honestly. You got to get them ready to play football. There's a difference between game shape and the regular shape and game shape, right? These guys got to get in game shape. I don't think the stars play enough in the preseason. I don't care. Wilson's not only out for a month. We don't know that yet. He's got to get the arthroscopic surgery. They got to look in. They got to make sure he's totally out of the woods yet. I feel Raiders will start strong with Davante Adams. I think the Raiders are going to be good, guys, but we can't put too much judgment into what we've seen. They played against the Jaguars, too, in week 1 of the preseason in the Hall of Fame game. And overall, I mean, that Jaguars team was just not good, right? That the twos on the Jaguars are horrendous, right? And then we look at what they did last week or yesterday against the Vikings. They played well, right? But again, it still wasn't their full team. So I think the Raiders are going to be good. I think Josh McDaniels and that Patriot way moving into Las Vegas is going to help them a lot. I think they're going to make a run at the AFC West. That whole AFC West just overall is going to be really good. Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown in the preseason. Patrick Mahomes is a guy that wants to get out there and throw the football in the preseason. I love seeing that out of a quarterback. I see a lot of shootouts this year from the plug on YouTube. Chris Albert, what sports book's your favorite? FanDuel, DraftKings are both really good. They both have a lot of good promos for football season. When it comes to football, you want to find promos. So look for those promos like, match deposits, weekly match deposits, risk-free same-game parlays, all that stuff. And we'll be working with a few books on this show as well as on my betting show in the morning at 10 a.m. We can talk all about that as we get closer to football season. Raiders defense is also Colts last year sold in that game. I remember they didn't sell. They got their ass kicked. They didn't sell. They had to win to get in the playoffs. Raiders will score, but yeah, D will be an issue. Raiders were the 13th ranked defense in the playoffs last year between 14 teams. Bengals was 14. What the Raiders did that last 4 weeks of the season last year to go on that run and get into the playoffs and then beat the Chargers on a Sunday night, very, very impressive stuff from Derek Carr. I think he's going to be good. He played with Davante Adams in college. They got that chemistry. You got a really good defense there with Las Vegas. You got Max Crosby coming off the edge. It's going to be a solid unit. Overall, though, I don't see them winning that division. I think they're going to be a contender, though. And I think they're on the up and up, and they're getting there. They got a lot of people in Las Vegas that want to support this team, and the franchise in the front office wants to win. Just win, baby. Mariners money line today. Again, guys, we'll talk baseball questions at the end a little bit, but Mariners money line, I would say Mariners money line, yes. Do you think Hard Knocks will help or hurt the Lions over under 5.5? I like them to go over 5.5 this year. I think it's going to be tight. I don't think it's a guarantee by any means, but in the NFC North, that's still a tough division. We know that is a tough division no matter what. Just cold weather football. It's not going to be easy. The Vikings are going to be okay if they can stay healthy. Green Bay is always going to be good. We talk about Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers losing Davante Adams. Well, Davante Adams lost Aaron Rodgers, and that's what it comes down to. By the way, Jordan Love, not good at all. We'll talk about that in a minute here. Lions over for sure. Is this the Georgie, stop. Raging Muslims, I missed you on the 10 a.m. show. Why weren't you there? Are you Nelk? I am not going to answer that. An alpha male would show up for both shows. You're a beta. You got to turn comments off here, Tanner. Why would I turn comments off? Most overrated team. G-Men over under 6.5 wins under. Hammer the under. Definitely have the edge on the Arizona Cardinals on both offense and defense. The Cardinals, I don't know what you're going to get out of the Cardinals this year. I think they're going to be good, right? Something just doesn't sit well with me with what happened in the offseason with Kyler Murray and everything. Hollywood Brown getting the speeding and all that. It's just I'm not a big fan of them right now. Alec Bussey coming in here. Should Texas be ranked in the AP top 25? They just missed the top 25 in the poll that came out today. Again, I haven't really looked into college football as much because I'm focusing on the NFL this year, but I will be betting college football. The biggest thing that I'm looking for Texas this year is what are you going to get week 2 when Bama comes to town and you're 14-point underdog? Are you going to cover the spread? Can you knock Bama off? Can you make it tight? I mean, there's a lot of excitement around Texas football just because of Arch Manning, who's not even coming in this year. But I'd like to see what they can do against Bama when Bama comes to Austin and probably whoops their ass. Who's your team? My team is the Patriots, but I'm a fan of whatever team covers the spread, in my opinion. I mean, that's why I want to see teams that cover the spread. That's why I got to go with. Dak, Derek Carr, Kirk got to start one. There you go. Dak, Derek Carr, or Kirk. I mean, I agree. I agree. Who's your team? I'd go Dak out of those. I would go Dak. Who's your team? So Patriots. People forget D-Hop suspended. He pulled a Tatis. Yeah, we do forget about that. You're right. We do forget about that. Anyways, guys, let's get into some of the topics for today that we're going off. I love the questions. Keep throwing them in the chat. Keep interacting, and we'll keep looking back and forth. But we're going to start with Zach Wilson, this knee injury for the Jets. Before we get into this, though, does anyone think the Jets have a chance to be okay in the AFC East? Like, we look at the Bengals, and the Bengals went from last place to first place. You look at the Baltimore Ravens. I know they had a down year with all these injuries, but they're probably going to be last place to possibly first place in the AFC North. That might happen twice. Do the Jets have a chance to be the last place to first place team this year? I don't think they do, obviously. Jets have a chance. Rondo coming in here. Jets have a chance. I don't think they have a chance to win the division with Buffalo, but I think they can be a contender. I think they can be a competitor, and this is just the foundation that they're building for the coming seasons. But Zach Wilson is a huge piece of their success. We know he's really, really good. Came from BYU, didn't have a great year last year, didn't have much of an offensive line, though, played in a tough division. Zach Wilson's getting better and better, though. We've seen it in preseason practice. We also see Joe Flacco lighten it up. So no matter what happens with Zach Wilson in this knee surgery, they're not done yet. Also, Jimmy G could be a possible option if it's not just 2 to 4 weeks, as everyone's saying, with this whole meniscus tear that happened with Zach Wilson. But you hate to see this. So he's going to get the repair on Tuesday. And if that goes well, obviously they're saying it's 2 to 4 weeks. If it doesn't, he will, if it doesn't go well, he's going to miss some time. There is a chance this goes the whole year, in my opinion. I don't think they're out of the woods yet. Coach Robert Saleh said they're optimistic, but he's not out of the woods until they get there and make the decision and really look at it. Dr. Neil Eltrachi is going to do it from out in LA. So he's flying out there probably today to get it done. In an early morning surgery. I like Zach Wilson. I think he's going to be talented. I think he's going to be very exciting to watch in the AFC East because I am a Patriots fan. But if he goes down, is Joe Flacco? Let's talk about this. If he goes down, is Joe Flacco a better option, or would it be good to go out get a guy like Jimmy G on a 1-year deal coming into a system? The whole offensive system from the whole offensive staff from the 49ers last year is now in New York with Robert Saleh. So that could be a perfect transition for Jimmy Garoppolo. It might be a great fit. On the other hand, though, he's only going to get a 1-year deal. And then he's got to go and prove himself with a bad offensive line to go out and get a job somewhere else. So I don't know what you guys think of that. Let me know. That division is the easiest in the AFC. The AFC North, what are you talking about? The AFC North or the AFC East? Both are very good. AFC East how is the AFC East not good? You got the Buffalo Bills as the front runner win the Super Bowl, so automatically they're talented. You got the New England Patriots who do the little things right. That automatically, puts them up there. And I don't think they're going to be the best team in the world this year, but they still have Bill Belichick. They still went to the playoffs last year with the rookie quarterback, and they're going to get better and better. And then on top of that, you got the Miami Dolphins who made all these offseason signings and Tyreek Hill. I think the Dolphins are a little more hype than truth, but still, the AFC East is a good division, guys. Bills is overrated. I think the Bills are slightly overrated, but here's the thing about the Bills. They're also very talented. They're very, very talented. They might be overrated. I think everybody's going to say that the front runner to win the Super Bowl is overhyped, right? But the Bills have a chance to go in and back it up. I mean, they're going to be good. He's correct. AFC East is worst division. So you're telling us, let's look. I think the AFC South is actually a worse division with the Colts and the Titans. I think the Colts and the Titans, because the bottom half of that's pretty bad. The AFC West is good. The AFC North is good. The AFC East. I put the AFC East in the middle. Bills numbers are juiced because of the division they play in. He's correct. AFC East is the worst division. I agree, Rondo. Colts are winning the AFC. Will Pickett to Pickens be a thing? I don't think it'll be a thing right away, but Kenny Pickett played well. We're going to talk about that. George Pickens made some great catches, so we'll break all that down as well. Here, Bills are easy, Pats are easy, Dolphins easy. Come on, that's a good division. That is a good division. That's a good division. I wouldn't call it the best division. I think the AFC West is the best division, but that is very, very good. If Allen gets injured, their season is over, and there is a high probability of him getting injured. Any quarterback that runs the ball 120 times throughout a season, like a secondary running back, has a chance of getting injured, guys. Let's see here. Can you rank second-year starting quarterbacks entering the season? T-Law, Fields. I put Fields up there, but the problem is he's playing in such a terrible system. I think Trevor Lawrence did some good things in the preseason game. He did some bad things when he got in there. So we'll see what happens. Alec, that's a great topic, though, for tomorrow, which I will break down. I'm going to write an article on that. I'm going to break down. Thanks to you, Alec Bussey. I miss Alec Bussey. Obviously, Wilson factors into that question of mine about second-year starting quarterbacks, too. MRI don't show the full picture till you are in there. Yeah, they're going to go in there. They're not out of the woods yet, Chris. 100% they are not out of the woods. They need to see what's going to happen. So that means if you're the Jets, you got to prepare for, okay, if Zach Wilson is healthy, and he's out 2 to 4 weeks. No big deal. Joe Flacco comes in, plays the preseason games, if he even needs to do that. I mean, the Super Bowl winning quarterback gets out there, maybe plays week 1 if it's 4 weeks and Zach Wilson's not ready, right? Or, hey, it's 8 weeks, it's 10 weeks, it's the whole season. We might need to go and sign Jimmy G and see what he can do there. It's going to be a seamless transition. But from what I'm hearing, how Flacco's spinning at practice right now, they don't need to go out and get Jimmy G. I think Flacco's going to be just fine. This is kind of a write-off here for the Jets in general. They're still rebuilding. They got great rookie talent. It's going to take them time, though, to get better and better and better. The plug, they have to go get someone. Joe isn't the option. Joe isn't the option. Who isn't the? I can see Jimmy. Oh, Joe Flacco. I can see Jimmy and Jet Green. I mean, it'd be a perfect transition, obviously, because the 49ers have the 49ers staff, the old 49ers offensive staff is now in New York with Coach Robert Saleh. So it'd be a perfect transition. Thoughts on the Jaguars? I think the Jaguars are I think their starters are going to keep them in games. I don't think they're going to be anything special. I think the rebuild is still there. But if you're a Jaguars fan, you got to be excited about Doug Peterson, NFL quarterback, NFL Super Bowl winning coach, being there, helping out Trevor Lawrence. I think that's going to make him very good. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, obviously the most talented quarterback of this generation coming out of a draft, right? Now, what he does in the NFL, that's a different story. We talk about like nature versus nurture, right? Nature versus how talented I am versus the system I end up in. That's critical, right? Would Tom Brady have been Tom Brady if he didn't end up in New England? You look at Zach Wilson. Put him in New England. Could he have the year that Mac Jones had last year? Maybe, because he's got a better offensive line. He's got a better system. You just don't know what you're going to get with these quarterbacks. That's why you look at a guy like Sam Darnold and Baker, who are both taken the first round. Now, I'll say this about Baker. I love Baker. I think he's very talented, right? And we're going to talk about this in actually the next topic. But, Baker's extremely talented, but he's still, he's hit some rough roads in the NFL. Sam Darnold, they were both drafted in the first round, I believe, of 2018, right? And now they're competing for a job. Like, that shouldn't be the way first-round quarterbacks have to be, right? But that's where we're at. That's the point we're at. Okay, let's see here. Got some comments. Thoughts on Jaguars. We got that. I take Steelers and Patriots defense over the Bills. Steelers and Patriots. The Steelers are going to be okay. Drop the news. Cole Beasley to the Packers. Cole Beasley to the Packers. Is Cole Beasley actually going to the Packers? Cole Beasley's not going to the Packers, is he? No. Come on now. Allen always bends the Patriots over his knee. Miami will be better than the Pats. I don't know. I'm not going to trust a Miami franchise that seems to cheat the system more than a Bill Belichick. I'm always going to lean on Bill Belichick. I know they didn't do enough in the offseason, but we've seen them win by not doing enough in the offseason multiple times. We've seen them win by getting rid of guys right when they start to come off the downhill slide. They're going to be better at linebacker. They're going to be more mobile. They sent out their big, strong guys, and now they're going to be able to go sideline to sideline a little more. I think that's going to help them. Expectations for Trey Lance. We're actually talking about Trey Lance today. We'll get to that in a minute. Trevor Lawrence will be out of the league in 5 years. Brian, that is so not true. Out of the league is a stretch. I mean, if that's not true. Travis Etienne is a sleeper in fantasy football. He would produce like Eckler. So I was playing Madden last night with Travis Etienne, by the way, and so good. Bill Belichick has 1 foot in the grave. Brian, you're so negative, man. It's just because your Cubs suck. How many touchdowns to ints for Justin Fields? I don't know what the exact ratio is going to be. I think out of the touchdown he throws, he's going to throw a good chunk of interception. It's not because of him necessarily. I mean, he wants to run the football a little more than throw the football, in my opinion. But that just Bears team, that Bears franchise, Soldier Field in general. The NFL Players Association blasted Soldier Field for the quality of their grass right now. So just everything about the Bears franchise is just horrendous. Everything about the Bears franchise is terrible right now. Okay, we got some comments rolling on YouTube. We'll get to those in a minute here. Okay, Pats lost J.C. Jackson, who carried the Pats. I think Bill Belichick put J.C. Jackson in situations to be successful. Going into the last season, nobody expected J.C. Jackson to do anything like he did. Okay. I don't trust Tua's arm. Tua throws so slow he can't even get a speeding ticket. This is going to sound crazy, but I love the Patriots receivers. Just no flashy. The Patriots receivers aren't bad. They just don't have that wide receiver number one. But sometimes that system of nobody's selfish might work out. Maybe. Best and worst roster in the NFL. I think the best roster in the NFL is definitely, I think the Bills. You gotta put them in the front run. I think one of the worst rosters in the NFL. I don't think the Falcons. I don't think much of the Falcons. The Lions are getting better, obviously. I think the Jaguars one of the worst rosters in the NFL. Like just those teams that are going to compete for the first pick in the draft. How many strikeouts will the Rangers get? I don't know how many strikeouts will the Rangers get. I don't know. Give me a number. Deshaun Watson better than Mac Jones? No. Deshaun Watson came into a preseason game. He got booed, obviously. Came into a preseason game, got absolutely booed by Jacksonville. Like Jacksonville was excited to boo Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson didn't play well. He's going to get suspended a whole season. And the NFL might try to carry the suspension into next season just to drop the hammer a little bit and show you if this ever happens again, you're an NFL team, don't schedule his contract or don't make his contract in a way where he gets paid nothing year one and then makes all his money year two. This is just going to be a mess. Like we're waiting and we're waiting and waiting. It makes no sense to me because we know what's going to happen. Apparently it's a slam dunk. Deshaun Watson, 7 games, slam dunk. You need to buy a Watson jersey and wear it on live. You get crucified. I couldn't do that. I'd get canceled right away. All right. So we talked Zach Wilson. Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers, guys. Keep dropping your questions in the chat. I love going off on little tangents based on your questions. So I appreciate that. We're going to get to the comments on YouTube here first, though. I can see Jimmy and Jet Green. I think Jalen takes the cake for second-year quarterbacks if he can stay healthy, being as though he likes to run a lot. And again, it's okay to run a lot in the NFL. Quarterbacks are starting to develop into this run a lot style, right? But you got to slide. You got to not take hits. Trey Lance slid for the first time in his career, allegedly, in his last start. He ran one time for the Niners the other night, and he slid. He said after the game, "Is like, that was the first time I've ever slid." Well, that's what you need to do in the NFL. If you're running quarterback, that's fine. You just need to take care of your body. Why has a guy like Tom Brady been so successful over the years? Because he goes down. I'm not saying he's a running quarterback. I'm just saying he goes down. He takes sacks when he needs to, and he lives to play another day, right? That's the only reason he's been able to stay in the league so long. Same thing with these running quarterbacks. Jalen, you got to slide. You got to find A.J. Brown open. You got to do a lot of play action stuff, and you got to take care of your body. That's what it comes down to. How would you rank the Eagles O-line? I think the Eagles O-line is going to be better this year. I think they're right up there. I can actually look what the Cold Hard Football Facts rank them, guys, and I would like to do this just so I can use some of my stats in here that we're going with. We rank everything they do, passing, offensive line. We put it all into one stat here, which is called Offensive Hog Index. And the Philadelphia Eagles last season were the 3rd ranked unit in the NFL, so they're obviously going to be very good this year. 46% success on third down. That's how we quantify this. Sacks. Third down success rank. That's huge for an offensive line. So I think they're going to be pretty good. They're going to give Jalen time to throw the ball. Again, they got to work in play action. Serrani's got to work in play action with Hurts. When he gets rattled, he's got to calm him down a little bit. I think that's huge for him to take this next step this year. Beers and bow ties. If you drafted 9 or 10, would you take Debo and Chubb or what? Yeah, I would take Debo and Chubb. Chubb might be gone at that point. I think Chubb's more of a 7-8 guy. Debo, I think Debo is going to be very valuable, especially with how we saw Trey Lance play the other night. If you put Trey Lance around a group of really athletic guys like Debo, you're going to get a lot of points in fantasy. So I think both those guys are good. If they're on the board at 9 10, I would take them. Can you trust Jalen Hurts in the pocket? I don't know if you can trust him in the pocket yet, and he's going to need to sit in the pocket. It's still the NFL, guys. At its core, it's still the NFL. It's still a passing league, and if you can't sit in the pocket, you're going to be in trouble, right? But again, this whole college quarterback mobile athletic style is coming into play now. So we do need to account for it, but still, it's the passing league. If you can't throw from the pocket, you're not going to be successful. Parsons, defensive player of the year. Micah Parsons is sensational. Can't trust Lamar. I don't think you can. I don't know. I personally don't think you can trust Lamar to go 80 yards in 2 minutes throwing the football. No, I don't. But if they can keep the lead. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens are predicated on playing close games. That's why they signed Justin Tucker to $1 million bajillion deal, right, for a kicker, because they need to win close games. Tucker's a guy that can help them win close games. All right. Do you think Cam Newton is done in the NFL? I don't know. I see all his cryptic messages on Instagram, and it makes it seem like he's coming back. I don't know who's going to sign Cam Newton, because here's the thing. The Patriots had Cam Newton, but he couldn't be a backup. That's why they cut him. If Cam Newton could be a backup, he'd probably still have a job, but his personality is not a backup personality. He's larger than life, right? Even though he's not the best quarterback in the world, he's still larger than life. I don't see him getting a job. The Panthers obviously aren't going to sign him because they got their guys in Mayfield and Darnold. Patriots aren't going to sign him, obviously, right? It's two old teams. I mean, there's definitely a spot where he could be successful. I mean, you're telling me Drew Lock and Geno Smith are better than Cam Newton still? I don't know, right? But if I'm the Seattle Seahawks, I'm saying, hey, well, this is kind of a wash for us at quarterback. We're going to go get our guy next year, and hopefully the guys are serviceable. So it's not really worth bringing Cam Newton on. I don't know if Cam Newton's still going to play, if he's going to play anymore, but I mean, he does a good job on Instagram, posting some cryptic messages, making us think he's going to play. Jalen Hurts won my fantasy football league last season, drafting him again. There you go. Who do you like for the game one first half in MLB? Definitely Guardians. Kaepernick coming back to play with Watson in Cleveland. I've heard that. A lot of stuff, a lot of talk, discussions about Kaepernick possibly coming back to Cleveland. So we'll see. Cam going to retire. He could, or he just stays in free agency. You know, listen, everyone needs a quarterback in the middle of the year. Everyone's going to need something. Like people get hurt in the NFL. So there's always room for him. Tampa Bay, hands down the GOAT. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady is hands down the GOAT. I agree with that. Trevor Lawrence, 2 thumbs down, though, Jessica. I don't know why. Time to cook today. Andre Dow, of course it's time to cook. Come on now. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith will have a big year. I think they'll have a huge year. I mean, the Eagles are set up well. Great offensive line. They can run the ball. They have Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a big question mark there. What are you going to get out of him, right? Or is he going to be able to sit in the pocket? Has he made that step from last year this year? If he can do that, he's going to be just fine. Bama quarterbacks are actually really good now. You got him. You got Mac Jones. You got Tua. Those guys were all in the same quarterback room at Bama, which is hard to believe. All right, let's talk about the Panthers here for a minute. We know the rules. No baseball question at 12. No, it's not that, Chris. They can ask a few baseball questions because I got off so early this morning from my baseball show. I felt bad at a meeting, so I'm like, I got to get off. But so they can ask a few baseball questions. More pressure on Tua or Hurts? 100% Tua. 100% Tua. Tua's, he's been in the league longer. He's got an offensive-minded coach. Did they get drafted the same season? Did they? Tua's been the starting quarterback longer. Tua's been a starting quarterback longer. They got drafted the same year, I believe. But Tua's been the starting quarterback longer, right? I think that Tua's got more pressure in the sense of he's got an offensive coach. They did a lot in the offseason. They got Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's out there running his mouth, blah, 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 blah. I think they're in great. I think Tua's got more pressure on him. I think the Eagles can kind of get around the whole Jalen Hurts if he can't throw the ball in the pocket by running the ball, play action stuff. Being in the NFC East, I think Miami's going to have a tough time beating up on Buffalo, even beating up on New England, knowing how well they play on defense. 5-0, by the way. Nice day, young man. I appreciate that, David. It was a good day yesterday. How about yesterday? That's why we don't give up tailing him. He's the GOAT. I appreciate it. Anthony, don't apologize for being new. Just show up. Who has more pressure, Tua or Danny Dimes? Well, I think Danny Dimes will not have a job next year based on how we've seen the Giants play football this year. So far in the preseason, they've had offensive line breakdowns. This front office isn't attached to Danny Dimes in any way. So Danny Dimes and Tua, I think, are in two totally different categories. Miami's trying to win a Super Bowl. The Giants are just trying to stay alive. That's my take. Herbert, Super Bowl MVP. That's a stretch. Because they got to get to the Super Bowl for that to happen. Where's the belt? No belt on this show. This is a little more casual, a little more laid back. How about yesterday? That's why you don't give up tailing him. We'd love that. Who's the number one offense? Number one offense in the NFL is probably the Buffalo Bills. Tua and Hurts should have no excuses this year if everyone stays healthy from Jeremy. I agree with that. I mean, there's obviously going to be excuses made for those guys, but I think if anyone has more excuses left in the excuse freaking arsenal, it's going to be it's Jalen Hurts. Will CMC be healthy this year? I don't know. Big question. I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. I mean, he's screwed me in fantasy twice already. All right, let's talk about the Panthers a little bit, guys. Ask your Panthers quarterback battle. Do we think this is actually a battle? Let me know in the comments. Do we think the Carolina Panthers actually have a quarterback battle on our hands? Both guys played the other night. Sam Darnold led a touchdown drive. He threw a touchdown. Baker Mayfield did not lead a touchdown drive. From everything we're hearing, though, from Matt Rule, both guys led the offense well. They both commanded the huddle. They did the little things right as quarterback. Now, Mayfield is the starter, in my opinion. There's no doubt about it. He's better. He took a team to the playoffs, took a Browns team to the playoffs, kind of led that franchise out of the grave. I know he had a bad season a year ago, but still, Baker Mayfield is a very good quarterback. I think Sam Darnold has the ability as a first-round pick, but what are you going to get out of him this year, knowing that the spotlight's on him? Christian McCaffrey stays healthy. Matt Rule's on the hot seat. Rule ain't messing around here because this is probably his last season in the NFL, so he's got to pick the guy that he trusts. Mayfield was 4-7 for 45 yards. Darnold took over after Mayfield. So after a fumble by their opponents there, after a fumble from Washington, and they found a way to lead a touchdown drive. He was 2 or 3 for 16 yards. Both guys didn't play that much. I see them getting more time in the second preseason game when the full starting offensive line is going to get more reps, or the third one, depending on how Matt Rule wants to handle it. But both were in command of the huddle, in my opinion. Both played well. Both were efficient. What are you going to get out of Sam Darnold, though, if he's a starting quarterback? I see Baker Mayfield being the guy. This shouldn't even be a question, but it's something we're talking about a lot right now. What's your best bet tonight? I like Philly's run line. I live in Cleveland. They love Baker. Cleveland did love Baker, and I think, you got a lot of bad press for the whole, whatever podcast he went on where he's like, how would you guys like it if I went to your cubicle and just booed the shit out of you? Like you'd crumble. Like that's what he said he'd like to do. That I think that gave him a bad rap. I think Baker has it, honestly. He looks a lot healthier too. Baker for sure. Everyone, guys, Baker is clear, but they're not. If you're Matt Rule, and here's my thoughts on this whole situation. I know everyone in the comments, at least everyone in the media, saying Baker, this is Baker's team, right? Everyone's saying, you guys came on here, I asked you, hey, Baker or Sam Darnold? Everyone said Baker, no question, right? But if you're Matt Rule and you're on the hot seat, I think the quicker you get this team in a direction, knowing where they're going to go, right? Hey, Baker's the number one. He's going to be, in the backfield with CMC. It's going to be great, right? I think the quicker you get a team in that direction, you're more likely to win football games. This is Matt Rule's last season in the NFL if he can't win. He will be back in college as a head coach next year if he loses. He was great in college, right? Flipped 2 programs around. But is he going to be able to do it in the NFL? I don't know. Right now, from what we've seen from the Carolina Panthers, he's not. But the quicker he names a starting quarterback and feels good about starting quarterback and can put them on the field, I think they're going to have more success. Now, if there is truly a quarterback battle, which I think there is, because if there wasn't, Baker would have been the guy already. If there's truly a quarterback battle, Matt Rule's contemplating and trying to decide between Baker and Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold takes the cake, I think will be a surprise, but still, I think there is a battle. We all know the rules. We got that. Who has more? We got that. Where's the belt? The plug coming in here. What's your thoughts on McCaffrey? My thoughts on McCaffrey, he can't stay healthy. He's a great fantasy football running back if he can stay healthy. I think the quarterback, a good quarterback playing by his side is going to help him a lot because take a little pressure off him. If Baker can run the ball and throw the ball a little bit and be fine and take some pressure off CMC, I think that's going to be great. I think they got to go to a 2-back running back kind of system sort of thing. I mean, he's, McCaffrey's your bell cow, but you got to get him off the field a little bit. Give him a break. Take less hits. The running back position in the NFL is one that the lifespan is a lot shorter than usual. The NFL stands for not very long as it is, or not for long. It stands for not for long as it is, right? But if you have a running back, the lifespan's even lower. Okay, tons of comments rolling in here. I absolutely love it. I love it. Cleveland loves Watson. I don't know if Cleveland does not love Watson. They really don't love Watson. In no way do the Cleveland Browns love Deshaun Watson. But Watson has set the industry price for quarterbacks right now, the way they structure contracts. Lamar Jackson is debating with the Baltimore Ravens. He doesn't have an agent too. By the way, I think it's the stupidest thing in the world when a player doesn't have an agent. It makes absolutely no sense to me. You get an agent, you make enough money. Lamar Jackson and his family are negotiating. And, the Baltimore Ravens, allegedly why they hang up is there with contract is because the guaranteed money isn't there. Baltimore's not willing to give the guaranteed money. And they shouldn't, honestly, with how Lamar runs the football, they shouldn't. But since Deshaun Watson got guaranteed money, which was stupid on the Browns' part because he's got 25 or 24 tuggies against him, why are they giving him so much guaranteed money and structuring his contract to a point where he doesn't make anything the first year and makes a ton the second year? I'm jealous. I didn't get my payday for the Watson scandal. Sam Darnold played worse than Baker did last year. I agree with that. Boy, he's taken the Panthers to the Super Bowl. It's only competition because of how much they gave up to get Darnold. I agree with that. If they can protect Baker at all, they could win the division. Pickens for the Steelers, my new favorite receiver. He will be a problem. I agree with that. We're actually going to talk about the Steelers next. Actually, no. Talk about the Steelers at the end here. Free Watson. Lamar to Miami. Why would Lamar go to Miami? He's a franchise quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. And if they don't sign him, they will probably stick the franchise tag on him. What we got for a lay today? Take my 5 picks, combine everything but the Nerfy. That's what you do. Picks already posted. Tua flames out. I think Tua could flame out. This is a big year for Tua if he doesn't step up and find a way to get the job done. Okay, so we got that. We talked Panthers. Let's talk Trey Lance a little bit, what we saw from Trey Lance. I saw good and bad from Trey Lance. He was 4 of 5, 92 yards. Now, keep in mind, 76 of that came on a massive touchdown pass down the sideline to Danny Gray. Danny Gray's electric. This whole 49ers team, I think, is going to be really good. The thing about Trey Lance is what we saw in the first preseason game against the Green Bay Packers, by the way. Packers did not look good. Jordan Love did not look good at all. He looked horrendous. But the best thing that we saw from Trey Lance, actually, is his ability to, one, command the huddle. Two, the spot wasn't too big for him. And that's awesome because last year when we did see him in some brief action, the spot seemed a little big. So maybe sitting behind Jimmy G for a year was great for him. That Jimmy G took that team to the NFC Championship. So maybe that helped Trey Lance step up and kind of, know how to operate the offense this year. He looked good. 4 or 5, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Again, the long play racked up a lot of those yards. He ran the ball once. He slid, and he said, that's the first time I've ever slid in my life. But when I look at Trey Lance, I see him next to Elijah Mitchell. I see him with Deebo Samuel on the field. I see a lot of weapons with this 49ers offense that's going to help elevate Trey Lance's game. He can run the ball. He can do play action. He can sit in the pocket and throw. He's an elusive, dynamic quarterback, and I can see why they went away from Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a guy that's not going to make mistakes. He's not going to impress you. He's not going to be spectacular in any way. Right? He's done a lot over his career, but he's not going to make that unbelievable throw on the run. Trey Lance has the ability to do that. And it's because of the weapons on the field with him combined with his athleticism, with Kyle Shanahan's ability to call plays. I'm very excited about this 49ers team. They're like 4th in Vegas right now to win the Super Bowl, which shows how much bookmakers are valuing the team around Trey Lance. Because I don't think bookmakers are going to say, hey, a rookie quarterback, let's not call him a rookie, right? Because he's been the league 1 year. First year as a starting quarterback, his rookie starting season at least. Bookmakers aren't going to value that. They're valuing the defense with the 49ers, which kept them alive last year a lot. And they're valuing the talent around the 49ers offense with Trey Lance kind of leading the charge. So I think this 49ers team is going to be very, very good in the coming seasons. This year might not be their year necessarily, but look for them to be a playoff team if Trey Lance can keep it going and step up. I had these doubts. I said, hey, he's a 1AA kid that we don't know what we're going to get, but the combination of talent with the play calling and the defense there is a perfect situation for Lance to be successful. What do you guys think? 49ers have 0 chance to win a Super Bowl. They'll be 3rd in their division. And they're in their division, but they're in their division's a bit of a stretch. I think. I think that division's. I think the NFC West is going to be good, but I think they should finish 2nd in that division. I think Arizona kind of flames out. Baker's going to shine. Guys, a winner has a chip on his shoulder. The chip on Baker's shoulder is what's going to make him successful. Keep Jimmy as a starter. 49ers good, just in tough division. Thoughts on Cardinals winning division over LA? I don't see the Cardinals doing as much. I'm not super high on Kyler Murray. I think we're going to see the Cardinals look really good at some points this season. I think we're going to see them fall apart at one point, and it's going to keep them from making the playoffs. Keep Jimmy as starter. NFC West would love that. Baltimore backup quarterback over Lamar. Tyler Huntley can throw the ball. Tyler Huntley is a good backup quarterback. I think when Lamar's on his game, Lamar did win a league MVP, guys. We got to keep that in mind. 49ers have 0 chance. Tyler Huntley. Kyle Shanahan is different. Kyle Shanahan's an unbelievable play caller. Unbelievable play caller. He's football royalty, guys. 49ers are a sad franchise. How are they a sad franchise? They were, they went to the NFC Championship game last year. They were almost in the Super Bowl. I wouldn't say that's a sad franchise. The Lions more so. Lions shock and win the division. That will not happen. The Lions winning the division is a bit of a stretch. I think they go over their win total of 5.5, but that's a stretch. Tua time. I like Tua. I do. I'm rooting for him. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to flame out this year a little bit. Unanimous MVP. Who's the unanimous MVP, Jeremy? Minnesota 22-1. You like that future? Not at all. Don't take it. I don't see enough for Minnesota because I see Dalvin Cook getting hurt. I see Kirk Cousins. I see Kirk Cousins playing okay, right? He's got really good receivers there. But I see Dalvin Cook getting hurt. And if Cook gets hurt, they're going to have trouble because they want to run the ball too. That opens up their passing game. Kirk Cousins isn't I don't think Kirk Cousins is elite. How many games did they lose? Did they go under 500? I think they were 8-9 last year, and they lost about 8 games in the last minute or something, like by 1 score. It's crazy the stat last year, but Minnesota couldn't find a way to win. I attribute that to their quarterback play. I don't think Kirk Cousins is elite. Rams got better. I mean, the Rams, guys, it's so hard, though, to get back to the Super Bowl. It's so hard. I would never bet a team to go back because it's so hard. An underdog's a hungry dog, and hungry dogs run faster, guys. When you're hungry, you want to run. This Rams team, everyone's all Jim freaking dandy because they won last year. Are they going to be good this year? Yeah, they'll be good, but are they going to have that same desire and grit? Stafford got his ring. Not everyone's Tom Brady. Vikings had 0 defense. I agree with that, but I got to put the blame on the quarterback, too. There were moments where he had game-winning drive opportunities. He couldn't get the job done. Do you think Odell will make any type of impact this year from the plug? I think he will. I think it will be with either the Rams, and people are saying the Buffalo Bills now because the Instagram comment that he left on Von Miller's page, I think. But yeah, I think I think he's going to make an impact with some team. Everyone's going to need a receiver at the middle of the season. It's just not we're going to forget about OBJ for about 8 weeks. And then when he comes back week 10, week 11, whatever it is with his knee, we'll start thinking about him a little more. Okay, let's see here. Has any company reached out to hire you? Well, it depends. It depends who's reached out to hire me. I work for a company currently. It's actually for a company, but yeah, I mean, I've had some jobs doing this stuff. I mean, this is what I've done since I got out of college, content. So new coach won't help. 14 games decided by 7 or less. There you go. There you go. Thank you for the stat. Lamar was unanimous MVP. He was unanimous because he could run the football. I think defenses are starting to catch up to that. So when you look at that receiving core now for Lamar and he's going to be better. He's got weapons if they can stay healthy in the running back position. But with the Baltimore Ravens too, the thing is, defenses are catching up to that whole style of running the football with Lamar Jackson. So that's an element of his game that's not taken away, but it's going to be neutralized a little bit. What are you going to get in the pocket? Okay, let's see here. Comments rolling in. I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. New coach won't help. We got that. Bears have #1 pick next year. The Bears are probably the worst team in football. Good point. The Cardinals are going to be second place, in my opinion. It's Cardinals 49ers. What are you going to get out of the 49ers? That's the big question. We got older guys, but they are very smart in sharing knowledge with rookies and new guys. Agree in LA. Tanner, I've been eating. Well, Hector, you got to agree with me on this, though, too. It's hard to get back and win again. Tanner, I've been eating ice cubes for a week because I keep buying your $100 daily picks. Listen, PP Home, I can't say your damn name on here. Listen, I haven't sold the damn pick ever. Join the Discord, free, link in bio. I went 13-3 over the weekend for free. What are you talking about? And they went 1-10. Don't be that guy. Kirk Cousins' definition of stat pattern carries by Diggs and Thielen and Jefferson. Jefferson's great. If he didn't have that system around him, what's he going to be? Tannehill loses his starting job. No, I don't think Tannehill loses a starting job yet. I don't think so. I don't think the guy from Liberty, which I can't think of his name right now because it's just not that important to me. We talked about him the other day. I don't think he steps up. Tannehill can make every throw in the Titans playbook. That's what they need right now. They want to control the clock. They want to play great defense. And they want to be physical in the run game. Tannehill's a guy that can do that for them from the quarterback position and command the offense. I think in the coming years, obviously, they're going to move away, but I don't think he loses it this year. Man of the people, Eduardo Torres, I like it. Thoughts on Kenny Pickett? We're actually getting into Kenny Pickett right now. Will Waddle's great rookie year be one and done now that Hill's in town? No, I think it's just going to add an extra dimension. I mean, the defenses can't cover both of them, right? So someone's going to be great. PP Homo, if the Vikings will win their division. The Vikings will not win the NFC North. The Vikings will not. I see Green Bay winning the NFC North, guys. I don't see the Lions winning the NFC North. I still think Green Bay is the front runner to win that division because of Aaron Rodgers. Now, when they get to the playoffs, they're probably going to lose, but I do like Green Bay. Fletcher Cox had a good year. I think Fletcher Cox will have a great year. Defensively, one of the best in the game with his hands and power. It's just putting it all together. So I do see Fletcher Cox having a good year. Let's see here. Vikings are lucky to play Lions and Bears 2 times a year. I agree, guys. The Bears it's a 2-horse race in that division. The Lions, I think the Lions might steal one. It's going to come down to who beats up on those bad teams, right? So I mean, if you beat up on bad teams in that division, you're actually set up pretty well to win. All right, let's see here. Malik Wilson from Chris Albee asking what Malik Wilson is going to do this year. What are you asking? You asking what Malik Wilson's going to do this year? Let's see here. Bears are terrible, but it's a knock on the fields. They have nothing. Yeah, I mean, it's not a knock on field. In no way is anything a knock on fields. I just think you look at the team around Fields, there's not a lot he can do necessarily. All right, let's see here. Yeah, Malik Willis. That's my bad. No, you forgot his name. There you go. Malik Wilson. Wilson, because I was confused on Wilson. Yeah, Malik Willis. I don't see Malik Willis taking over that starting quarterback job this year, but I appreciate the assist there, Chris, with the name. I can't keep everything in my head right now, but I do appreciate the assist with the name. I think Malik Willis is not going to be a starting quarterback there. I don't think he's ready to be. Like I said, Tannehill makes every throw on the playbook. Vikings are goated. No more Mike Zimmer. No more pain for the Vikings. NFC is so bad. Dallas coach fired midseason. Guardian. Yeah, Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat. I mean, there's no surprise there. Bears are terrible, not a knock on fields. Josh Allen over under 41 total touchdowns. I mean, I think, let me see, total touchdowns. So that would be rushing and passing. If that's rushing and pass, guys, we have one more topic to talk about too. So drop your comments in the chat and stuff. Josh Allen did 36 passing and he did, let's see, how many rushing did he do last year? rushing. He did 8 rushing, so 36 and 8. 30. If you went, yeah, I mean, I'd go over if it was both. If it was just passing, I would probably lean under on that, depending on if that's playoffs too. Bucks under 11.5 wins, I'd go over. I think Tom Brady is going to be just fine. Giants, most improved team in the division. That just because it seems like they finally got a coach. I think their coach is going to be very, very good. I think Dable's good. I mean, Dable built up Josh Allen, so you got to give him credit there. I don't think the Giants are going to be anything special. We've seen it time and time again. Bills will win the Super Bowl, maybe. Give me a tuggy. Deshaun Watson, boom. Is Deshaun Watson your profile picture? Love it. that's an interesting profile picture. Deshaun Watson mixed with Bill Cosby. If Watson plays, the Browns will win the Super Bowl. No, but here's the thing: Watson isn't going to play, and Watson was terrible in the preseason opener. I don't know what you're going to get out of him. He's not going to play, guys. Give it up. Watson ain't playing. Okay, let's talk about Kenny Pickett before we wrap up here. Kenny Pickett's going to be good, guys. Kenny Pickett. What do we think of Kenny Pickett? Let me know in the chat. But Kenny Pickett, game-winning drive in the preseason, still a pretty impressive feat, right? Threw a 24-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Vaughns with 3 seconds left in the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers to beat the Seattle Seahawks. By the way, for the Seahawks, both Drew Lock and Geno Smith played well. I thought they looked good. But overall, Kenny Pickett stole the show. Now, Pickett is still in the first-string quarterback battle. I don't think he's going to be the opening day starter. I think the Steeler way is you have to earn it. And he's doing a good job of it. But the whole offense looked good under Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. Both guys, commanded the offense well. They brought they executed the plays. They went out in the huddle. They led the team right. I think overall Kenny Pickett, though, is going to be a talented quarterback, right? Roethlisberger guided the franchise for a long time. It's time to move on. And Kenny Pickett is that guy. He's just waiting in the wings right now. The thing to look at with the Steelers offense is what are we going to get out of the Steelers offense? What's this offense going to look like dynamic-wise? Ben Roethlisberger was there, as I said, for 18 years. Matt Canada's the OC in his second year as the OC, third year in the NFL, and he wants to be dynamic. He wants to run college kind of style offenses, run the football effectively, but also get the quarterback involved, moving out of the pocket. And Kenny Pickett's a guy that can do that. We saw it throughout the game. He was really, really good. 13 to 15, 95 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was sacked. There was a turnover on downs, right? He had a little times where I think the moment was big for him, but he played well. And I'd like to see what he can do as a starting quarterback week 1. I just don't think we see that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Watson's in the chat. There we go. Shout out to the Jags fan. Chant was fire. Kenny Pickett sit until like week 6. I think week 6 is a good number. I think Mitch Trubisky is ultimately going to be the guy. Come on, Tanner. How we doing? Watson's in the chat. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Kenny Pickett is not going to be the opening day starter, but I'd like to see it because he played pretty well. 5-play, 43-yard drive with a touchdown. He had loud ovations. Kenny. They were saying Matt Canada is going to love working with him because Canada, as I said, wants to be dynamic on offense. Pickett's a guy that can do that. So, overall, I think the Steelers aren't in as terrible shape as we thought. Defensively, they're going to be good, but they got to build on offense. I think they could be 9-8. Don't count out. I hate quarterbacks that wear gloves on both hands, honestly. Pickett, that's kind of why I don't like him in general, but I think he's going to be talented. I don't know about Pickett. I think Money Mitch is the man. Money Mitch is not the man overall, I don't think. I think Mitch is going to start, but, I don't think he's going to be the man. Tanner for Sports Analyst MVP. I love it. I appreciate that, the plug. I appreciate it, man. We work hard here, so I appreciate all those comments from you. Okay, let's see here. 24, just 24. Maybe we'll be on ESPN someday. Who knows? Clip that right now. Put it on a tweet. Maybe I'll be on ESPN someday. Hopefully when I'm on ESPN, we can go back and look at that tweet. Raiders have a chance, have top 10 quarterback and worst quarterback in division. Yeah, the Raiders have a chance to win the AFC West. I wouldn't say they don't. I've been high on the Raiders the whole time. I don't know if they win the AFC West, but they have a chance. When are you entering the NFL draft? Man, my career came to an end a long time ago. I thought when I played Division I football, I'd have a chance to go to the NFL, obviously, because we all do. I remember my mom asked me, what are you going to major in when I was like signing letters? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to the league. I ain't here to play school. That's why I used to say, we used to lock in the locker room every day and say, we ain't here to play school. So, and no, you know what? No matter if 1, 2, or 3, man, it's hard to focus on grades, but you got to, because not a lot of people go to the NFL. Anyways, guys, we're going to sign off here in a minute. Drop your final comments in the chat. What was your stats? I was actually an offensive lineman, so I had no stats. I mean, I've let up a few sacks, obviously, throughout my time in college, but no receiving, rushing stats. I was 315 pounds before. Now I lost weight, so I could be in the media game a little bit. Yeah, I didn't have any stats there. Did not have any stats. How many pancakes? I don't know how many pancakes. We didn't track pancakes in college. I had a good amount of pancakes in high school. I had like 60 something my senior year, but in college. I only played 1 year because I had too many concussions, but I started as a true freshman. I was on the team too, but I only played one because of concussion. Started as a true freshman. How many pancakes? I don't know. We didn't track pancakes. Gave up. I started 9 of 11 games. I had a knee injury that kept me out. I think Pickett is the most NFL ready out of the other rookie quarterbacks, but I don't see a high ceiling. I think the ceiling is, like, if I look at a high ceiling for a similar kind of quarterback, like a Trey Lance that can run and throw the football, I mean, I think Trey Lance's ceiling is through the roof, right? I don't see that with Pickett as much. This quarterback draft class wasn't good in general. We know that. But Pickett was the front runner of it. Pickett a career backup. I could see that happening depending on how his career goes in Pittsburgh. He doesn't epitomize like a Pittsburgh quarterback to me by any means. These quarterbacks this year are overrated. Coming in next year, though, I'm very excited about that class because the quarterbacks are going to be loaded next year. There's a lot of great guys coming out of school. Any other questions, guys, drop in the chat. If not, we're going to sign off here. Make sure you start with Cold Hard Football Facts today. Start your free trial, guys. Let's get it going. It's #1 place to help win bets this football season, guys. 22 proprietary quality stats help you win bets, guys. I've used them before I worked for this company. They've been money. They were money for me last season. We're going to use them on here. So sign up. Start your free trial today, guys. Not a lot to do. Just click the link in the bio, put your info in, start your free trial, guys, and let's get it going. CJ Stroud is nice. I agree with that. CJ Stroud's nice. Goff has a great year. I think Jared Goff has a great year. Bryce is good. Bryce is really good. I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out of college next year. I think Goff has a great year. I think the system with Dan Campbell is going to be good. The play action, pound the ball first, kind of, run play action stuff, short intermediate pass game. I think that's going to be good for Jared Goff. Goff is good in the right scheme. It's just he took the Rams to the Super Bowl. He's just got to be in the right scheme. Geez, you look like you could weigh that much. Google Tanner Kern football. You'll be able to find some stuff, Chris. You'll be able to find a ton of stuff, a ton of big pictures of me if you want to look at that. But anyways, guys, we're going to sign off here. One more question here from Troy Sue. One fantasy keeper, Kittle or AJ Dillon? I'd keep Kittle. If you had to pick between Kittle or AJ Dillon, I'd pick Kittle in my opinion. I think AJ Dillon's solid, right? I think Green Bay, but Green Bay, and we know what you're getting with Aaron Rodgers throwing the football. Let me see what Dillon did last year, though, just so I can give you. I mean, Kittle's a top tier tight end. And a top-tier tight end is more valuable than A.J. Dillon, in my opinion. Dillon, 187 rushes for 803 last year, 5 touchdowns, split in time. I mean, I think there's a lot more value on Kittle. When you coming back on? So I'll be on at 3 o'clock, guys, or at 3:30 for the Nerfy play today. That'll be a little more intense. Let's see what time that game's at. I think it's like at 3:15. We locked in the Nerfy for that one. We put 1 unit on it. So the Nerfy is at 3:11. So we'll be back on like 3:10 for that game, 3:08. So get ready there, Eastern time. So a couple hours. And then we're on every day, 10 a.m. and noon. So the noon show is the football show. We talk football, a little more relaxed, a little more laid back with the suit on. The 10 a.m. show is the wild one. That's the betting one, guys. So make sure you show up for that. That one's on my personal YouTube. We're always on TikTok. That one's on my personal YouTube. This one's on the Cold Hard YouTube. He took over for Aaron Jones. Yeah, I got that, but I still think I don't think he's gonna get 100% of the carries. I do think they're gonna work some other guys in there. And on top of that, too, this is a pass first team. They want to throw the ball with Aaron Rodgers. Move over, Skip Bayless. Tanner's on the way. I love it. Plug. I love it. So yeah, 10 a.m., 12 p.m. guys every day. And then we also have our Nerfy streams we do every day as well. So make sure you check that out, guys. We're going to sign off here. Start your free trial with Cold Hard. Links in the bio right now. And we will talk to you later for the Nerfy, but tomorrow for the NFL show at 12 and then the betting show at noon, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hope everyone's a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue.